I've seen incredibly talented filmmakers that make beautiful work struggle financially, and I've seen less talented filmmakers thrive in their businesses. And the difference normally isn't in what camera they use or how they edit. It's normally in the pricing model. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the pricing mistake that are keeping you broke as a filmmaker. Let's dive in. If you're new here, hey, I'm Rue. I'm an adventure filmmaker based in Colorado that's worked with some of the biggest brands in the outdoor industry. And today we're gonna chat about how we can help ourselves financially by not using pricing models that are keeping us stuck. I want you to avoid feeling like you have to charge by the day or by the hour. I wanna help you price strategically so you can get the most amount of money per your projects. I'm going to help you price what a project is worth, not just what seems fair. We're gonna chat about, even if you're afraid of losing the job, how you can prevent undercharging, how you can avoid treating each project like a one-off gig, and how you can work with the right types of clients so you don't end up stuck doing endless amounts of revisions. And I'm making this video because I've been there too. I've taken on projects that I absolutely should have said no to, that were way too much time, way too much energy for way too little money. And I realized halfway through it that I built myself a really stressful job rather than a really thriving business. If you're only thinking how many days and how many hours this is going to take you, and you're not thinking what is this worth to the client, your ceiling might stay pretty low. When you price based off of time, you're limiting the potential that you can have, versus if you price off of strategy, off of value, and your worth, you're suddenly having a very different conversation. And in this video, I'm gonna help you have that conversation with the right types of clients. You may be watching this for a number of different reasons. You may be watching this because you feel like your income is capped. You might be stuck at making $60,000, $50,000 a year, multiple years in a row, feeling like you're unable to grow. You might be watching this because you're attracting the wrong clients. You're getting a lot of people that are paying low amounts of money for a lot of work. They're giving endless amounts of revisions. They are keeping you stuck in the project cycle as filmmakers. And that's why I'm here in this video, to encourage you to stop thinking of yourself as a videographer, somebody that just shoots and edits videos, and turn yourself into somebody that is a creative partner that helps provide value to the clients that you're working with. If you stop thinking of day rates and start thinking in project rates based around value, you can start to grow significantly faster. So if you're wondering, Rue, that sounds super great. I would love to do that. How do I do that? Let me talk you through it. The first and most important thing to price around is scope. This isn't necessarily just the amount of time that it takes to complete a project, although that is a part of it. You're trying to understand the deliverables and how those deliverables can then provide value to that client. For example, if their goal is to grow on social media, you might be able to tailor their package, your offer, to them by highlighting more social media focused reels so they're able to grow their audience a little quicker. If they're wanting to build their brand identity, you can maybe go a little bit deeper and propose branded documentaries so you can communicate the brand identity of who they are and what they stand for through these more meaningful, in-depth storytelling films. Shoot days and editing and revisions goes into scope, but it also very much goes beyond that because you're pricing based on value. How big of a project is this? Is this a big campaign where we're doing photos and videos and hero films and social films and creating a whole website rebrand? Or is this just a one-off small project? The pricing for that is going to be significantly different. When you're building your quote, you can also price around complexity. Complexity, for me as an adventure filmmaker, can often get pretty out of control. We might be going into remote, extreme environments with harsh weather and really extreme locations, but regardless of if you're doing adventure content or not, have a think through the travel that you have to do, the talent that you have to bring out, the story development that has to take place beforehand, maybe your location scouting or getting permits for certain spots. What sort of lighting equipment do you need? Do you need to do interviews? What does the logistics look like? Or you have to hire a producer to make this project a reality? All of that can go into pricing your projects more fairly for yourself. The third thing to think about when it comes to pricing is your role. What do you want your role in this project to be? Do you want to be the producer? Do you want to be the director or editor? How do you fit into this overall ecosystem? Because when it comes to accessing bigger budgets, when you start breaking into the $100,000, $200,000 budgets, it becomes increasingly rare for a company or an agency to give all of that budget to one person to operate the execution of the project. So if you're really excited about directing or producing or editing, making sure you're slotting yourself in a way that feels good, my recommendation is, if you're trying to optimize for the most amount of money, lean into directing and producing. If you're editing or just taking photos on bigger productions, you are limiting the amount of money you can make. But if you're working directly with brands and agencies, helping produce the work for them, you can start to make a significant amount of profit doing some things yourself and outsourcing the things that you're maybe not the best at in order to execute the best type of project that you can for the client. So to provide a concrete example for this, if I'm a client and I say, hey, I want to hire you for a video. It's going to be about 1 to 2 days and we just need it, in the next month. You're like, okay, great. Well, it's 1 to 2 days. So maybe let's say 1 day of shooting and 2 days of editing. It'll be around $1,500 or $2,000. But for me as the client, I'm thinking, great, this is a 1 or 2 shoot days. We're gonna get a bunch of deliverables that we're gonna rebrand our whole website with. We are gonna use some of the assets as paid ads, and we're gonna use those paid ads to make about $100,000 worth of profit this month. And that $100,000 worth of profit is going to be very valuable, but the most valuable thing is that this 1 or 2 day commercial is gonna go on a national broadcast run. So 1 to 2 days of shooting is gonna provide me and my company $200,000+ worth of profit likely in the next 6 months. So for you are now charging $1,500 to $2,000 to bring the client $200,000 worth of profit. Because they're gaining a lot of value from this, you might be set in a position where you are not providing as much value to yourself. As filmmakers, we are in the service-based business. As much as we don't like to say it, and as much as we like to think we're artists and creatives, we are in the service-based business trying to provide value to people. The more value you can provide to a client, the more value you will get in return in forms of normally US dollars or whatever your normal currency is. This amount of money is directly related to the amount of value that you provide for the client. So if I was trying to scope and understand the pricing for that specific project where they say, hey, it's only a 1 or 2 day shoot, I'm asking some questions to try to understand what that project's scope looks like and how I can price it fairly so I can get as much money as possible while still providing as much value to them as I can. I'm going to ask how it's used. Where is this going to end up? Are you running this for paid ads? Is this just an organic social post? Are you running this on any other platforms that I should be aware of? What is the goal for the project? Are you trying to get as many people to sign up for a newsletter? Are you trying to get people to buy a product? Are you trying to run this as paid ads to try to launch a new product of yours? There's a bunch of different values that videos can serve for companies, so making sure you're understanding what that value is to the client and pricing it based off of that value. And before we continue, which we will, I do want to chat about that I have just launched my first Business of Adventure filmmaking course. This is where we're talking about the nitty-gritty side of how to run a business as a filmmaker. If you're interested in making more money, working with better clients, and having a smoother, less stressful life as a filmmaker, check out the link in the description. There's a lot of value in there for you, over 5 hours worth of content. I'm really proud of it. I've spent 6 months working on this, consulting with different filmmakers and some of their struggles, mentoring people in person and online, and hopefully you will get some value out of this, hopefully just as you have in this video as well. That's that. Let's continue with this video on how you can avoid some of these pricing mistakes. If you're undercharging, it might feel safe in the moment because you just want to win the project, you just want to be easy to work with, but on a long-term level, that will hurt your business. So here are some things on what you can do instead. Number 1, stop saying numbers first. If they're trying to understand how much it'll cost, ask more questions around usage, around scope, around the complexity, around the value that they might be getting from this video. The more you can understand their situations, the better you can price. Ask them their budget. If they're not willing to say their budget, ask them follow-up questions so you can try to get an understanding on what budgets might look like. Number 2, build project-based pricing. This is where you can start to create packages and specific offers based on the things that they're looking for. So if they are wanting to grow on social media, maybe you're doing 3 to 5 Instagram reels and short form content for them in addition to the hero film that they're asking for. The more you can stack these different deliverables, the more money you can make. Step number 3, include all the invisible work in your pricing quote. Pre-productions, revisions, communications, travel, gear, all of these things are going to secretly add up the time that you are working on a specific project. So 1 shoot day and 1 edit day might be on paper what you're looking at, but you might have a bunch of pre-production. You might end up doing a bunch of revisions after that 1 edit day. You might have all this travel and gear complexity. You might have to hire local lighting crews or production assistants in order to make this happen. So instead of just thinking about how much time is this going to take me, think of all of the invisible work that you also need to do and build that into your pricing as well. Step 4, give clients options. For me, I like to go by the good, better, best, unrealistic. Those are the 4 packages that I'm offering to clients. So this is, if they want to work with me, this is the minimum I will do it for. Then I will have a better package that is maybe a little bit better than the good, but not quite exactly what they're looking for. Then I will have my best package. This might be $1,000 more expensive or 10% more expensive than what they are looking for in terms of what they want to spend on budget, but it is what exactly they're looking for. Then you will have the unrealistic option. The unrealistic option is a very high quote that they likely will not say yes to, but they can see all of the things that you are able to provide. So it might be a $30,000 package, even though they are saying that they're only needing a few social media reels and a hero video. I'm gonna put a $30,000 package together for behind the scenes content. We're gonna do photos. I'll do a blog post that they can go on their website talking about the video production process. All of this will help make the other packages seem a lot more appealing. Finally, step number 5, get comfortable losing some jobs. It's okay to say no to jobs that aren't the right fit. The more you say yes to low-paying jobs, the more you will struggle in building a successful business as a filmmaker. So to conclude, the pricing mistake that is keeping you broke is not understanding what you're selling. You're not just selling hours, you are selling your judgment, your taste, your strategy, your execution, your ability to create something of value for someone else. The earlier you understand that and the better you can price because of that, the more filmmaking will start to feel less like a hustle with one-off gigs all the time and more like a business that is allowing you to breathe and have a successful, creative, fruitful career. And if you are a filmmaker who wants to build a successful, thriving business and get away from these one-off projects that are pricing yourself too low, check out my Business of Adventure Filmmaking course where I talk all about how to make more money as an adventure filmmaker. I built it to help you think more clearly about pricing, about positioning, about clients, and building something sustainable and fruitful for yourself. So with that, I'll leave it for this video. Check out the workshop below, and I'll see you in the next video.